Been looking forward to this all morning. The other day I got the chance to meet Noel Gallagher. Never met him before. Such a lovely guy. And he was really up for it. We talked about a lot of stuff. So here's what happened. A bit of context for you. I'm a massive Man United fan and he's a massive Man City fan. And at the weekend, Man United lost to Man City. Okay, I'm delighted to be joined by Noel Gallagher on the phone. How you doing, Noel?
Sensational.
I'm a United fan and, I was, I can't avoid the topic. How did you enjoy the weekend?
Oh, it's always great when you win. You've won many of them. You know, you've lived through the glory years of Man United, and you're about to live through the dark times.
Do you think this will be as prolific an era for City as United have just had?
I'm not sure.
But potentially.
I don't know, I think Chelsea will have something to say about that. But I will say this, your lot are going nowhere fast. Yeah.
I'm nervous.
You should be. When is the genius of Van Gaal gonna appear?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just hoping. I was disappointed when we let people like Welbeck go, but I'm just hoping that he can, I don't know, bring in some stars that he's known over the years and.
Throw another 300 million at it. Was that the most expensive squad ever assembled on a pitch on Sunday? And
for the first half an hour it was, but then it went down a bit when we went down to 10 men.
Yeah, it went down by 900 grand.
But anyway, we digress. Also, though, I do want to mention, your interview with Gary Neville beforehand, that was brilliant. Had you met him before?
Never.
Never met him before that?
No.
But you would have thought there must have been some sort of bumping into each other somewhere, or no?
No, I've seen him in the director's lounge at City, but I've never ever spoke to him. And somebody, do you know Fenners from Sky, who does the Saturday, he called me and said, oh look, someone from Sky's come up with this idea, would you be up for doing it? And I was like, yeah. And I love him as a pundit, I think he's brilliant.
He is really good, isn't he? I think he surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, he's amazing. Him and Carragher on the Monday night thing, incredible. And they come up with the idea, and I said, look, I'm going up anyway for the game, so I kind of went up a day early, and he's great. Do you know what? I love him because he's as much of a staunch red as I am a blue.
Yeah.
And he was having his old MO was kind of like, yeah, but you're still a bit rubbish, aren't you? And my thing was, yeah, but everybody hates you, so. You know.
He gives what he takes, which is great, though.
He's brilliant. You know what? And he's been there and he's done it. And when he talks about, he knows his stuff, man. You got to give it to him.
Isn't that incredible that they'd never met in that whole time, throughout the 90s as well, in Manchester, just never met. Incredible. So, we stopped talking about football, because the boss was banging on the door, and then we started talking about music. Now, we started talking about the High Flying Birds, his band, and their new single. Now, in front of him, he had information about me and us and the station. Touch FM is owned by a big company called Queedem, okay? So it's one of lots of stations owned by Queedem, and he had Queedem written down, and he was very fascinated by this. The reason we're talking, though, is we just started playing your amazing new song in the heat of the moment. It's been part of our A-list for a good few days now. It's getting a great reaction.
Quidem.
Yes, yeah. Which you quite like that name.
It's mental. It sounds like some condom or something. Can we say that? No, yes, we can.
Yeah, why not?
Quidem, I do believe it's Latin.
It is. Oh, how did you know that, Noel?
Oh, well, I studied Latin when I was in prison once for glue sniffing.
What's it Latin for, though?
It's Latin for, I'm a bit rusty now, but I do believe it's for the word indeed.
Wow, that is incredible. You really, that knowledge has stuck with you. Can you use the word queedem in a song you write? Could you slip queedem in?
I could slip it in somewhere.
That would be immense if you could. I mean, we'd be forever grateful for that.
Quidem, let me just put that in there. Let me put that in my phone.
Great.
And then Quidem, yeah, you check out some B-sides coming up.
Okay, I genuinely will. I'll be scrolling through.
I'll get it in.
How exciting is that? He was properly like, I'll get it in. I literally will be checking every single single till the day he dies, just in case he slips Queedem in. Got more from him, even more, especially about all the music and the exciting stuff he's doing, coming up after the headlines with Abby. It's 8:30. Back to Noel Gallagher then. Spoke to him on the phone the other day. First time I'd ever spoke to him. He was an absolute delight. And now we stopped talking about football and Queedem, and started talking about music and the High Flying Birds. the album's coming out next March, but you're going to do some arena dates and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you still get the same sort of amount of nerves? You know, I mean, now that you've gone through several albums, both with Oasis and then now with the High Flying Birds, do you still get the same sort of feelings when you encroach on those sorts of tours?
Still get the same excitement. I get the same excitement going on the tube to go to rehearsals and kind of working it all out. I love working.
Yeah.
I've got to be doing stuff, and rehearsals I enjoy as much as the gigs, because because the songs then cease to become a record and they take on their own life, and then, you know, the next stage is playing them in front of an audience, and then, you know, then playing them in front of a foreign audience, and then playing them, you know, in big TV shows and big award shows and stuff like that. So they're kind of constantly evolving until you have to put it to bed and go and do something else. You know, I love it.
Do you still feel? Is it the? Do you enjoy them in the same way, going and being on the road for, you know, several weeks, months on end, doing the tours in Europe, both in the UK? Is it the same? Do you enjoy it in the same way you did, say, back in the 90s with Oasis?
Well,
not quite literally.
Not quite literally in the same way. No, but those big long tours, they are what you make them. And they evolve because you change as a person, and there's no way that I'm sitting, you know, by the time I go out on tour next year, I'll be late 40s.
Yeah.
There's no way I could deal with it like I used to when I was like late 20s. No chance. When I think of some of the things that we used to do and then just get on stage the next night like it was the most natural thing. It was unbelievable. I wish I had that stamina and fearlessness, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But now it's different, you know. I'm a singer now, so I've got to be on it from 9 o'clock, you know, I mean on it, I don't mean like drinking brandy out of the cowboy boot. But I got to be got to be on it from the first song, so it's different. And like I say, those tours, any tour, it's kind of like they are what you make them, you know. And if you think it's going to be rubbish, it will be rubbish. I've always loved it, I gotta say.
But also the difference now with Twitter and social media, all those sorts of things, the exposure you get is so different. Have you enjoyed that transition of maybe perhaps things being more out there, more obvious and transparent?
I'll tell you what it's ruined. After your first show, wherever that may be, the set list goes all the way around the world.
Okay.
So from the second show onwards, everybody knows what you're going to play. And
I see. Yeah. I never thought of that from a band's point of view.
Yeah, before social media, you used to rock up into town.
Yeah.
And of course you'd be playing the same set list every night, you know, because you hone it down and you get it to where it's fantastic and it's like second nature. But the crowd didn't know what was going to come next, and those gigs were so massively exciting, you know. And now, because, you know, there's a website called setlist.com that just puts up every single set list that you've ever done.
I never thought of it like that. It must ruin it a bit for you.
It does ruin it a bit not for me personally, for
the next
because
set of fans.
Because, you know, if I'm going to see, not that I ever go on setlist.com, but if I'm going to see one of my favourite acts like Neil Young, I'm not really interested in. If you go there and you know what he's going to play, you're kind of already on autopilot. That's why so many people are taking pictures, because they know what's coming next. When this next tour sells the one after that. So if someone goes to see you and they think, well, that was rubbish, they don't want to buy a ticket next time. They don't want to buy another record. So it's like you've got to constantly keep it moving forward somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't envy that, but you've done it so many times. The album comes out on the
you would envy the check at the end of it, Sonny Jim, trust me.
I bet I would. The album comes out on the 2nd of March, the single In the Heat at the moment, we're playing it now, it's out on November the 17th. Thanks so much for joining me, Noel. It was a genuine pleasure to speak to you, and could you introduce the song for us? We're going to play it now. Okay,
this is In the Heat of the Moment. I'd like to dedicate this to Chris Smalling. It's quite apt. It's
you've ruined the interview now. You ruined
the critically acclaimed Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Thank you very much.